Bonsoir à tous. Hello, everyone. I have welcome to Mark Garcia Personal Ski Debrief. I have once more time a special guest from Austria. He was so famous in so many categories: amateur, professional, and now he's one. And then just let him know to introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Bernhard Knaus. I live here in Schladming in Austria, and I used to be a racer a long time ago. First on the Austrian ski team for a couple of years, and then later on the US Pro Tour. And now, since over 20 years now almost, I'm still in the ski business, running the race department for Nordica and Blizzard.
Super, super. Welcome, Bernard. It's a pleasure to having you, a special interview. We know each other for a long time, as probably people don't know. Bernard, you race on the Austrian team, and then you switched to the Pro Tour in '89, if I remember. As you said, in January '89, for about 8 years, correct?
Yes, I was racing on the Austria team for about 6 years, and then was going into a lot of problems with injuries and stuff. In the end, they kicked me out. There was no place, no time to recover for me. And then I think I made the best choice ever in my life. I bought a ticket to the US and joined the US Pro Tour in January. I think it was 2nd or 3rd of January, 89. And then I had eight seasons of I would say good success and a lot of fun, but hard work.
Good success. Bernard, if the people don't remember, you had 80 victories. You set all the records that he used to be to the French guy Henri Duvillard back in the 80s, and you won so many races. Number one on the tour. You won so much money, of course, and you deserve it. How come? Because there was so many people coming from east or from Scandinavian country, but it was not so many Austrian races on the Pro Tour. How switch in your mind?
Well, I saw a story on the Austrian TV when Andre Arnold was racing back in the 70s or mid 70s, I think. And I always thought that this circuit must be good, and I knew that this is gonna fit me. So and when I came over, and from the first race weekend on, I knew this is my chance, and this is something I like. You don't have any coach around who tells you this and this. You're completely on your own, which is tough in one way, but it was my way of living. Do things by yourself, and make your plan for next season, plan for training, for traveling and everything. And it was just my life, and it turned out to be successful. And of course there were a few Austrians, but they didn't tell me anything about racing at the beginning, for sure. And then a lot of Scandinavians were racing there, but in the end it was a big family, and we traveled together, had fun together, but as I said, it was a lot of work. It was tough times, but it was probably the best time of my life.
Do you think you won 80 race, and you so many podiums, of course, number one on the prize money, like in golf tournament. Bernard, you won already very quick in a Pro Tour. Do you think it was the winning things give you the mental to continue on the Pro Tour? Or how did you know what I mean? Because sometimes you go over there, you try to make money, because at least we all try to make money on the Pro Tour. Success, fine. No success, but you had a success. How do you achieve that? But how now, back then, did you think that you thought probably, oh shit, I should have taken chance before that?
Well, No, I think I did the right thing at the right time, and also I the lucky part on the whole thing was that the tour was at the peak at that time. You know, Phil and Steve Mayer came to the US Pro Tour. They brought a lot of sponsors. Chrysler was there, putting in a lot of money, and Ed Rogers was able to put really a strong tour together. You know, with good prize money and so on. So on that point, I was very lucky. I was facing exactly the right timing, you know. But on the other hand, I was smart enough to take this chance and make the best out of it. And again, this whole system is very fair because it's, you know, it doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, whatever. It's always the same because it's a head-to-head competition. Same condition for the guy next to you. And this is something I like from the beginning on. I was pretty good from the beginning on. People recognized me, and then they started to have probably respect. And at the same time, I was growing up. My self confidence was getting better and better. So it was tougher and tougher for them to beat me, which
I
was a
remember.
good thing.
I remember with you in Hapone. But Bernard, you also, besides the fact that you like to be by your own, I think the Pro Tour was the good thing that he was everything. Ed Rogers controlled the financial things, but all the technical things, as you know, he was by the races, which huge different compared to World Cup.
I mean, it was a complete different world because in the end, of course, Ed Rogers and his partner, they were running the whole process money wise and with sponsors and everything. But on the race hill, there was this race board. I think 9 or 7 guys from top athletes. They really were sitting together and they made the rules in the end. And I think, I mean, this should be how the World Cup should work, you know, because in the end, the athletes they're there to make the show, and I think that was a good thing. And again, it was a perfect system. The whole system worked pretty good, and I think it should be the same way on the World Cup somehow. Because
Yeah.
as you can see, when FIS was trying to put up a pro or head-to-head competition with parallel racing, it just didn't work because they had no idea how to put it on and how to do it in the end. So that's why they failed more or less.
Even last winter, Bernard, as you know, it was the World Championship was a huge things regarding the parallel things. I'm very surprised, as you are one of the top guys on the sport industry with a technical group, and no one from FIS ask you, Bertels, Matthias, or Christian Schreiger, the guy who used to be a pro racer. No one asked you. I mean, your experience. God damn it.
I mean, to be honest, when they came up with this idea, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago already. I had a meeting with Markus Waldner, who was running the whole thing already at the FAS, who is actually doing a very good job on the race hill, to be honest. You know, I mean, it's his job is not easy. And they were asking me about the rules and how everything works, and I told them how it should work. You know, I gave him some advice, and I told him just do it like we did it on the US Pro Tour, and you're not gonna make any mistake. But the problem was, I think, and then different people with different interests coming in, you know, sponsors, TV, and they thought it's not possible to make this show in an hour and a half. It should be a lot shorter. And that's how things got strange, you know. Some strange people came in, made some complete stupid rules, and then some of the coaches came in with their idea, you know. And then you have the different federations. Every federation or every head coach has his job is to protect his athletes. So in the end, it was a big pool of different ideas, and it just didn't work, you know. With this, you have to have one guy who he has the responsibility, and he has to make the rules, and that's it. It's the same in the kitchen. If you have too many chefs, it doesn't work.
Yep, I guess the last World Championship was a big mess. Probably you were like me in front of the TV or over there, just thinking, God damn it, how the people can go so far as the US Pro Tour or Japan Pro Tour. They study so many things to be the best for start things, the ranking list, the things, as you know, of course, like me. I feel very sad for for that program on the FIS.
I feel also pretty sad in one way, because I still think it would be a good thing to see this format on the World Cup. But on the other hand, the World Cup, the whole program there is so big, and they have so many races already. And I had that feeling that the athletes, they were not very happy with this from the beginning on, because it was just too much. The whole World Cup program is too packed. You have too many races on too many different locations, too much traveling in between, and the pressure on those guys like Petitjean and so on is huge, you know. So this parallel thing, it was always kind of something, you know, beside, and nobody really took it serious. And then in the end, they came up with those stupid ideas, and yeah, it didn't work in the end. And I think World Cup, too many disciplines anyways. I think, I don't know how this could be started again. I don't know, to be honest.
To follow your point, Bernard, you know, it was the problem for them on parallel things that they really thought, as you know, was mainly unfair. You know why exactly.
Yeah.
And this is one of the major points. But beside that, do you think the new president, he's gonna work well with a guy like you, with the guy who used to have like background things, and get the support, get conversation things to be much better and to have a better impact? What is your opinion for that, Bernard?
I mean, the good thing with the new president is that he finds a situation where you can't do anything worth, you know. You can do better, you know, and he will make things better, I'm pretty sure. And I think it was a pretty good decision in the end. And I think he is a guy who is independent. He is not with his interests are not on a ski federation, you know, and he is independent, and he should come with new ideas, or he should at least let it go, you know, let some people in with good ideas and try to change. Of course, you can't change anything in a year or two. It will take time. But I have a pretty good feeling that he is going to make a move in the next 2-3 years, hopefully.
Oh yeah, that did you have some personal talking with him, Bernard? Not yet, or whatever. I have no idea.
We were sitting in a few meetings. You know, we have this SRS going on, which is the Ski Racing Supplier Association, where I'm in, and he was joining some of our meetings already, and he exactly knows where the money is coming from, you know, and because all of a sudden, you know, those head coaches or the team organizers, the different federations, they don't even know where the money comes from, you know, because I think it's still the ski industry who stays behind all the athletes, and especially the junior programs and so on and so on. So we are an important part of the whole game. And finally, we have somebody who is listening to us and is asking us about different ideas. And I think this could be a good direction.
In your team, like Nordica and and the Blizzard. How many races and the servicemen do you have on the worldwide men's and women?
I have around 5 servicemen. We are a small team. We were never very big, but in the last couple of years, you know, there are 2, 3 companies who got very strong, put a lot of money in there, and we don't want to go this way. We want to keep our team small, and of course, I would like to have at least 2, 3 more top athletes. But now I have Dominic Paris on the speed disciplines. He is with us. And then you have Alex Wienatzer on the technical side, and Andreas Locker on the women's side. She just started like a rocket last season. A very nice person. And then we have a few younger athletes, Riccardo Tonetti on Blizzard, and so on and so on. But again, I hope I can keep the team together because other companies pushing hard money-wise and so on and so on. But we are trying our best, and with equipment, we are there. And I think to race for a smaller company like ours, you have the advantage that we are able to react for each different person, you know, really quick. And that's something what people will recognize or will get to know a little bit more in the future.
Does it mean your company combine these two group? I mean, these two names. That means that you have one program to research, to get better skis, sidecut things to make development. You have one program for both.
Yeah. I mean, it ended. The whole thing changed over the last 5, 6, 7 years. You know, since Marcel Hirscher was coming up with this idea, having every week a new ski. You know, it really drives us crazy sometimes. But that's why you have to be ready. You have to be ready in production and with all that stuff. And the whole company needs to stay 100% behind racing, otherwise it doesn't work. And as it is with us, I mean, we are 100% with Dominic Paris. He can come any minute with something, with a new wish, with a new ski, whatever. Also on the ski pool side, and then also with Alex, with Andreas Locker. It's a complete different program, but we try to cover everything, and which is hard sometimes, but if you're not ready for this, you better leave it. But we are ready, and of course we are ready in the future to gain a little bit more and try to be back with let's say 3, 4 top athletes on each discipline.
As you know, now the skiers, the World Cup, whatever is the slalomer or speed event, that the guys is like Formula One. They're not, as you know, like if you speak with Christopherson or if you speak Clément Noël or the guy from Odermatt, oh god damn it, they have so many pair of skis to be able to choose at the start. How is your philosophy for that, or how is your strategy for these guys, but also for the Europa Cup and the FIS guys?
I mean, as I see the whole circuit right now, I think everything is a little bit too much on the equipment side. If I see sometimes how many pairs of boots are coming back after a season, they were not putting even on the snow, it's completely crazy. And also on the ski side, I mean, they are not able to test everything, there is no time for this. But if you don't do it, if you don't feed the whole system there, it looks like that you're not able to come up with something. So we are driven, we are driven by our competitors and so on and so on. And I think it's way too much, because in the end, and believe me something, I'm long enough in this business. In the end, you probably have a handful, not even a handful of races who can come up with a good feedback, So I think ski industry at the moment is doing way too much, and we're not gonna get this out what we are investing.
So in that term, what is your, how do you see the future? How do you see the future for the World Cup, including the companies and all the system as the Formula One things and all the, how do you, how is your idea for the future, Bernard? If you do have, I believe you do have, what do you think the thing will go on and will be able to change?
If I see it from a industry, ski industry standpoint, hardware, you know, ski boot binding, I think in the future you probably have 4, maximum 5 ski companies who will survive, who will be able to follow the whole circuit, because every year it's getting more and more expensive. It's the program is getting bigger and bigger, and it's really a challenge. And I think in the end you probably have like maybe 4 or 5 companies who can follow the whole circuit. And then I don't know who is going to take care about the junior program, because there is no money, you know, and we should be the ones who should build this up and support. But and in the end, on the World Cup, I hope the new president can bring some changes, hopefully in the right direction. I think we have to you know, be more international. I think we even should go to the southern hemisphere to have races there, and because I think we do a lot of training, we do way too much training. And you know, they spend like weeks and months on training, and then if you're a GS specialist, for example, you end up with 7 races, you know, or 8, and which is nothing, you know. So yeah, and then I always thought that it would be a good idea to bring the athletes together with the disciplines, you know, and having not specialists for slalom only, GS only, Super G only. I think it would be great if you could have an athlete like Kilde who is able to do GS, Super G, and downhill, you know, on a super good level. And I think those are the challenges, and I think we should work on that side. That was always my idea, to bring in this head-to-head competition again, to a format, something in between slalom and GS, in order to bring the slalom and GS races together, to have a possibility for the GS specialist with the parallel slalom, which is kind of in between. Those would be my ideas. So yeah, and in the end, I don't know if TV coverage and you have races like Wengen, Schladming, Kitzbühel, or Val d'Isère, and so on, as long as you have those good races, the whole circuit will exist, and TV is there and sponsors are there. But there are a lot of things to which they could make better, definitely.
Sounds good, Bernard. Before we're going to go to the conclusion, because we can speak hours and hours together, for sure, Bernard. The World Cup skiers, the things, and you are one of the boss of the World Cup program. What about the general public? What about the impact? What about the things that we have to you have to consider the medias, of course, but also the general public who bring the money, come to ski. What is your point of view for that, Bernard?
I think World Cup racing, or even if they're going to be able to build up pro racing in the US again, I think is an important tool to show ski racing, or to show skiing, to bring skiing into the living room, you know, by TV and social media and so on. And I think it's a super important tool, and it will be in the future for sure. And yeah, I think you know, we talked years and years, and there were some negative people who always thought, well, the World Cup will come to an end, nobody is interested in ski racing anymore, and so on and so on. But then all of a sudden you have like 35,000 spectators in Schladming for the night race. So how come? And then if you go up Wengen, you see all those people there over the whole weekend. I mean, or if you see Adelboden, if you see Val-d'Isère and so on, people are interested, and they always will be. And ski racing will be always there. And you know, now it's fall. People will discuss the lift ticket. It's getting more expensive, but it's every year the same. But in the end, our ski area is completely full. You know, so I'm pretty positive that ski racing and skiing will stay alive, because it's such a nice thing.
Good. Do you ski a lot, Bernard, during the winter? Powder things or whatever? You still still ski a lot?
Yes, I ski a lot again. I was having after my race career, I was having problems with my knees and stuff, but everything is fine now, and I still ski a lot with the Spitfire, you know, with the 88 in the middle.
No problem with you. No problem with your back? Because I remember on the Pro Tour you had a problem also with your back as well.
Yeah. If I do stupid things, I still have my problems on the back, but I'm able to handle it.
If the people don't know, we forget to say that Bernard, after the Pro Tour, you back on the FIS. You wanted to be you were on Olympic Nagano in '98. You back on '97 to back, make the back for the FIS late numbers, and then you race for the Slovenian team, and it was your big challenge to be in the top seed and winning the World Cup. And lucky, should I say? But
yeah, it was an interesting thing, because I was getting tired a little bit about living in the US, or not living there, but being on the tour. And I mean, I won pretty much everything, and I thought I was looking for a new challenge. And there was this guy, Tomas Čekovnik from Slovenia, who was racing me or traveling with me on the Pro Tour for a couple of weeks. And I said to him, well, Thomas, can you organize me the passport for Slovenia? I would go for the Olympics in Nagano. And I thought we were making, jokes out of it. But then in the end, he organized, and I was, all of a sudden I was in the Slovenian team, and I started, of course, it took me 1 year, because I had to start all over again with points and stuff, and go with the little kids at his races with numbers over 100. But I did this. I won 2 Europa Cups, was racing with Stefan Everhardt, who was trying his comeback at that time. And then the Olympic season was coming up. I think I finished 12th in Val-d'Isère at the GS. I qualified for Olympics, but then it just didn't work because of different reasons. I had to change equipment and so on and so on. And on the other hand, I was kind of burned out as well, because the 8 years on the tour cost me a lot of energy, more than I thought. But in the end, it was a super good experience, because I was in the Slovenian team. The whole team was like a family, and then it was Olympic Games. I was expecting more. I also was expecting more of this whole event. But again, it was a good experience. And but then I quit racing. I thought it's time, because there was this Austrian guy coming up named Hermann Mayer, and I knew that this will be tough and not my time anymore.
Sounds good, Bernard. It was a fantastic life for you to switch back and forth, and that thing. And now the big boss. How long have you been the big boss of this group, of Technica Group?
With Technica Group, I'm 13 years now with Technica Group. I started with Blizzard and then took over Nordica. And I'm running those 2 brands now. And before, I was 8 years with Völkel, the German company. So I have a few experience on that side of skiing.
Okay, and you're from Schladming, that's correct?
Yeah, I'm born and raised and still live here.
Okay,
Good place.
super. I know. Super. What can I say more? Did I forget some question, by the way? Did you expect some specific questions that I forgot to ask you, Bernard?
Not really. I mean, you were asking too much anyways.
Okay. Okay. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very, very much, Bernard, to take your time to be able to introduce you and to be in my program. I think we will have chance to see each other during the winter somewhere and probably ski
Definitely.
together. And please continue. You have some good idea. You have so much experience. Please help a lot the FIS to be much, much better. And please take care of you and your family. Bernard.
Thank you, Mark. Always nice to see you. Always nice to talk to you. Thanks a lot, and I hope to see you in Val d'Isère or wherever. All right.
Super. So you have to make the clap for the end now, Bernard. There was Bernard Knaus. Thank you very much. Bye bye, Bernard.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye bye. Take care.